Hello my Crafty friends and welcome back to another festive project. So today I will be creating a tag and I want to use some of the images from these wooden shapes. These are great for adding some dimensional elements on your tags and you can recreate what I'm doing here. I will be using the horse for today, but you can recreate it with the rest of the images. So I'm starting with one of those crafty MDF shapes and I'm going to cover it up first with acrylic paint. I'm using two shades of green and this is going to create kind of a darker background which will help the colors of my horse to pop even more. I'm just going to cover up completely the whole tag with the first darker shade of green, and before this one is completely dry I'm going to add a touch of that lighter green, which is going to create some lighter areas here and there so that it doesn't look so flat. We are going to do lots of techniques on top of it, so it's going to look very interesting later on. And of course you can recreate this tag idea by using two shades of acrylic paints of another color. For example, you can make another festive tag but use two shades of red for the background. Next step, let's do some stamping. For that I will be working with my permanent inks, so I'm using the brown one here and I'm using one of the stamp sets from the Gear Up for Christmas collection. I'm stamping randomly, I'm not going for the perfect impression, just stamp in a couple of areas, and you don't really need to use a block, you can definitely go with your fingers, which is going to give you a more organic look. And let's keep playing on the background to make it look more interesting. I'm going to use this Snowflakes stencil, one of my favorites from this collection, and I'm going to use one of the blending brushes and apply through the stencil the embossing ink. So let's have some fun with heat embossing. And by using a blending brush, I get to decide exactly where I apply that ink. This is going to remain sticky for a while. And then you can apply any color of embossing powder that you like. Now you can definitely go with white or sparkling white from my collection, which is going to give a really vibrant look into your tag. However, I wanted to have a very subtle effect for this background, so I decided to go with the clear one. This is going to give some shine at the background and some texture because it's going to end up quite raised. But you can see I end up with that tone-on-tone look with the shine, without overwhelming the background with too many snowflakes in white. Now I'm going to do some ink blending on the edges. I'm using the coffee dye ink pad and I will apply it all around with my blending brush. Now this is going to give a darker edge which is going to kind of frame the tag, and I absolutely love the vignette effect that it gives. The dye ink is going to stay on top of the embossed areas and you can just clean that up with a clean cloth or with a paper towel. Now with one of the finger dabbers I'm going to apply at the very edge a little bit of that black shadow ink, which is going to emphasize that border even more. And now let's move on to another technique for the background. I'm just going to add some golden splashes. To do that I'm diluting my contour liner with water. This looks milky when you do the splatters, but trust me, when it dries it's going to be super bright and shiny. I like to go with a very thin brush so that I can kind of control the splattering, and also it ensures that all that splattering is very fine, very tiny, which I absolutely love. So now I'm going to bring in the wooden shapes. I will pick which images I want to play with, and also I'm going to use a little red star from the other wooden shapes set. And by the way, I haven't glued down anything up to now. I'm just auditioning all the elements and trying to find the balance and what makes the composition pleasing. Once I'm happy, I am going to use my hot glue gun to stick everything down. You can definitely go with hot glue gun, with glue. You can also use foam squares to pop them even more. Now for that hole up there, there is an extra piece in the package that you can use if you want to add dimension. In my case, I'm not going to use it at all. I am going to use the fabric from the same Gear Up for Christmas collection, and I'm just going to tear a little strip, which I will use as a ribbon at the top of my tag. And that's mainly how I use those fabrics that match a collection. I like to create ribbons out of them, which are great as closures for an album. You can make ribbons out of them, you can tie bows like I'm going to do here, you can use them on your tags. And you know they are going to match your project since they are from the same collection, so same colors and designs. Now in my festive tags, I always like to add a little bell up at the top, which I'm going to just tie around with a knot. I'm using a little thread here, and this is going to give that interactive element and make the tag even more fun. Now, usually with these tags, you can hang them as ornaments on your tree. You can use them to decorate your house. I like to add some magnets at the back and use them as a fridge magnet to decorate for Christmas my fridge. And of course, you can definitely hand them out as gift tags along with your presents. I finish off the project by adding some decorative dots with my contour liner. I dab a little bit of white acrylic paint in different parts of the tag, and I add some fine white splatters to finish it off. And here is a closer look on the project. I hope that you had fun today and that you got inspired. Thank you all for watching.